don't like
We
that.
should have mentioned at the beginning of this podcast that this is one that you should probably watch because of how animated Rob is.
Yeah, my kids came home from school one day and they said, "Dad, you speak in onomatopoeia." I said, "Watch your mouth."
So what'd you call me?
I said, "What's that?" And they go, "All that stuff you do." Yeah, my hands are flying. Everything. Now I've got a self-conscious that's been like, secure the hands. Don't make noises. Yeah.
Welcome to Guys Fishing Weekly. We don't just fish, we hug.
How are you, dude?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm chilling, bro. It's great. I think I'm in less than 40 days left. And
You're in the part of work where it's no fun to talk about you.
No, it is not fun to talk about me. And you know what's not helping this last week? The weather. It's beautiful. It's like been 70s here. Yeah, sunshine. And that makes the give a shit meter not very high.
I can remember those days.
Yeah.
Those days as a kid, just looking outside, ready to go,
Right?
go play.
Yeah.
I had to go do finals.
Yeah, well, I try to coach my son into finishing his senior year strong. I need to remember that and keep myself focused and try to finish my career strong. So yeah, it's good times. It's good vibes for me. How's tell me how the running training's coming.
Running training's coming. I got the half marathon on Saturday coming up. So it's phase one finals right here coming up in the books.
How you feeling, dude?
So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I'm gonna complete to get the under 2 hour mark that I'm trying to get. So we'll see how that goes. That's the goal that I keep telling myself, that my wife says if I don't get it, I'm not allowed to pout about it. But I have a feeling I might pout about it if I don't get it. So
excellent. That's good, dude. Yeah, keep the right mindset. Don't beat yourself up, no matter what the result is. This is your first shot at doing this stuff, so keep it good, man.
But we all want to compete and do the best we can. They say it's not about the numbers. That's what they say on all the training, but it's about the numbers, baby. It's about how many fish you catch, how big they are.
Who are we kidding?
Who caught the most? That's what it's all about. It's not about just showing up. So
it's not that way for me anymore.
Oh,
once upon a time,
okay.
it was.
Yeah. You talk a big game.
Oh, yeah.
This week, we decided to spread our wings and interview somebody. But we didn't spread them very far because this is somebody we know quite well. And so we're bringing on one of our favorite guys on the Guys Fishing Weekend, Robb Gneiser, to come chat it up with us today.
What's up, dude?
What's up, boys?
How are you, brother?
Good to see you. Oh, I'm great. I'm great. Yeah. Hey, Eddie. I don't know if you know this, but definitely try to hit that 2 hour mark, because the fastest marathon ever just went under 2.
It's crazy.
Just never.
For sure.
That's insanity. A whole marathon under 2.
It's crazy. That's like
Two's a good number, man.
That's a 4.5 minute mile pace for 26.2 miles.
6.2 miles. That's nuts.
Oh my god, dude, that makes me want to cry.
I could use a little room in myself. Yeah, I admire you, man. Wow.
Well, Rob, you're an ex-runner.
Yeah. We had in CSU, but at Colorado State University, it was 800 meters. So, yeah, 13.1 sounds daunting.
No, you've never done a half marathon or a marathon? I could have sworn.
I've run a 106-mile week before, and that's my like claim to fame. But yeah, no, distance and me don't work. But Eddie, you're motivating me, man. I'm thinking about maybe giving it a shot.
So I was talking to Tom on the phone today, and he told me about something that he's thinking about doing. I think we might now do it together. But have you ever heard of burro racing?
Oh yeah,
Reid, I don't think you have. It's not.
No, don't they do that up in Fairplay?
Oh, so you have heard about it?
yeah, Leadville.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where the only thing more stubborn than your legs is the burro. Yeah, it sounds great.
No, but I think that'd be a nice.
Trying to get your kid to do their homework. Yes.
I think that would be a nice for our listeners who don't know what it is. It's basically running like a half marathon or in some cases, I guess, a marathon with your partner, which is a donkey. And they like strap it all up with old mining gear and they run across the mountains basically at super high elevations. And it's a race.
Wow.
You want to do that, Rob?
You and a donkey.
That
Not
sounds
do
like
it.
a dream team.
I'd do it. As a matter of fact, where I work, we have guest speakers, and one of them had a championship donkey. He was a mountain man.
Nice.
And all I asked him was he was in a building. I said, put a little poop sack on that donkey. He said, he's not a speaker here anymore because I can't have the donkey on the kids.
That's right.
True story. They're awesome
Right.
little asses. They are the donkeys.
Right. The donkeys. No,
Well, I think you should start training and run it with us.
I'm in.
Nice.
All right. Let's do it.
Donkey races. That's what we've gone to. Donkey races. Great. Wait, so now just let me understand. So you run with the donkey?
Yeah.
So the donkey's
Yeah.
next to you while you're jogging.
You have a donkey on a leash, and he's got his pack saddles full of gold mining gear, and then you run up a hill together.
And you do that for 13 miles?
At least. I think the short courses are like,
Do you get to jump on the donkey when you get tired?
that's cheating.
Mm.
What you find out in those races is the donkey has you on a leash.
That's probably
I was
true.
gonna say, yeah, pretty much.
They're running a race, and you're along for whatever they want to do.
Oh my God, dude.
So some of the pictures of the burro races, you have the guys are like complete back to the course, just like yanking as hard as they can on the donkey to like get it going. The donkey's like, fuck that. I'm not. You didn't tell me this was 15 miles. I was in for 5.
And will not cross the line.
Yeah.
I just watch donkeys go by. Yeah, thanks, buddy. That's great.
Oh my God. I'd be happy to film it because that's going to be funny. Watching you two clowns trying to lead a donkey up a hill.
I've done donkey basketball, but never a race. That's good stuff.
All right.
Good for you, Eddie. You're an inspiration, man.
Well, I appreciate that, but we're gonna get you out there. Retirement's gonna do you well.
Yes. Another retiree coming.
How's it
I
feel?
love it, man. It's gonna be good, Reid. I love what I do, man. I'm gonna miss this like crazy, but wow, I'm excited for the next phase for sure. I'm starting to move that 2 feet out of just working all the time and moving that one into some retirement mode has been hard, but really, it's kind of cathartic. You realize how much you work and how hard you work in education. You just want to, you give up a lot. And I'm ready to hang out with the wife and see some new things. So
What's the
Right.
I'm
plan?
excited for you, man. You get me by about a month, don't you?
Yeah, I'll be done at the end of May. And so
It's not that much though. It's only a couple weeks.
yes, but it's it's this identity you had for so long, and it changes and it kind of goes away, and so what's next? That's daunting yet exciting. There's that trying to find which direction, but it's excitement for me. A lot of it just with what we're doing here and what we're going and where that ends up taking us is excitement, so I'm ready. I'm with you 100%, ready to spend time with fam and be able to do those things more often than not. And so that's what I'm excited to for.
I'm telling you, the thing that's bumming me out is, and I didn't plan, you plan for retirement and everything. On this trip, we're going across the United States in this badass rig, right? Finally bought a truck and a rig. And I didn't think about fishing licenses. It's going to drown me.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get a fishing license. They need to have a national fishing license. I think we ought to.
They do.
I think we ought to start putting in a word to the president to say, hey, there
Right.
should be a national fishing license. I'd pay $200.
Right.
$300 to go across the United States. You just flash the badge. Guys fishing weekend.
That's the emblem right there. Yeah. Go fish anywhere. I got this.
Well, you got the national badge. That's right, baby. Anywhere in the United States and Canada.
Right.
So,
They're making too much money off the fishing licenses. That'll never happen.
hey, man, I got my new license plates, and you can buy a Perks Pass when you buy your licenses. I got those black beauties. I didn't know if I should, but I went for it. Well, I'm all bougie now, right? Like license plate button. Yeah, you got a Perks Pass for cheap. I don't know what it was, but it was
Yeah.
$30 or something.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll make
Are
a
you
few
guys?
calls, I'm sure.
Hey, Rob, are you guys planning? I know you're planning on going across the United States, pulling your trailer, and you guys are gonna do kind of the next year-ish doing that. Is that still the plan?
Yeah, you know me, I don't like to plan too much, but we're gonna head north, see a couple people, bump in Canada up and down, and we want to be on the East Coast in the fall. And then, old man winter starts chasing RVs, and it's like a flock of fucking old birds, like running from the snow. Ours is a little more badass. We could probably hang it out for a couple of snowstorms, but we'll be following all those old farts in the
Right.
driving their Class A's, that are $250,000 on a little. I'll be good. But yeah. Then we'll swing down south. I don't know. I want to catch some things I've never caught. I don't know if you know, but my one of my boys is in South Africa right now.
No,
I
who's
didn't know that.
Yeah, Sawyer's in South Africa. The kid caught. Get this, he texts me on WhatsApp. He's at this hunting fishing lodge. Met this dude that said, "Come, I'll take care of you." Anyway, they're fishing for. I go, "What are you fishing for?" You know what he says? Trout.
nice? Love it.
Yeah, it's trout. They're everywhere. They're just gargantuan here. So I'm gonna either fish for trout or tilapia. Well, they end up fishing for tilapia, which I've seen them on a plate.
Right. Right.
He texts me and says, "We've got 39 fish, but we need to have a lunch break." My God. He texts me 2 hours later. My bicep is killing me after 110 fish.
Oh my Lord! Wow.
I know. We got to go there.
Yes, we do. GFW in South Africa. Are you kidding me? So
I know.
where is he down in South Africa?
He went down for an 8-week internship in a place called Limpopo.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's basically on a safari every day.
That's awesome, dude.
Doing conservation biology studies. So yeah, it was pretty dangerous, though. He found out he's part of the food chain.
Right.
You're no longer the apex predator. You're just out there, with your head on a swivel because someone's going to eat your ass. Like almost everything there kills you.
Right. Right. Wow. What a great experience, though. Holy crap.
It's great, but he couldn't wait to go fishing. So now he's heading to Cape Town. He's done with this 8-week internship. So what's this kid? You can do anything you want in South Africa. And what do you want to do? Of course, he's signed up for more fishing. So for like $70, he gets to go. They kayak out in the ocean put a bunch of shit in the ocean, kayak back, and they're on the shore, just like, and he doesn't know what he's going to catch. Like, oh, I'm on, and then, you don't know what's going to come out of the water. So I'm just so stoked to get some pictures out to everybody. But what a cool experience.
Oh, that's great. Dude, last time I talked to him, we were at the Fly Fishing Festival, and he was talking about maybe he got offered something to do with firefighting or whatever, up in the wilderness or something like that. So I had no idea, dude. That's phenomenal. How did he get into this? His dad, his old man?
No, man. He looked it up. He wants nothing to do with me.
Right.
Well, he was going to go play some rugby and go to New Zealand, just hang out. And then he found this program. So he did 8 weeks there, and it was a gap year program. So, yeah,
That's
he
phenomenal.
had some amazing stuff, man. Encountered 2 of the most venomous snakes in the world under his couch,
That would pretty much count me out. Yeah, no thanks.
Saw rhinos, elephants, all the big cats. It's just BA.
Oh, that is totally fun. That's great.
But of course, he wants to fish, man. So as soon as he got done, hooked up with this dude, went hunting for impala, got to go fishing, and now he's going to go down to Cape Town. Eddie, you were in South Africa.
I have been.
Yeah, he says Cape Town's pretty bougie. I'm using the old young people term, but he liked
That
it.
Cape Town's awesome. I mean, it's another big city, big British city, but it's definitely one worth getting to. One of the prettiest places I think in the world is down there, outside of there, called Stellenbosch, which is like one of like the Napas of the world.
So he's going on a wine tour with some girl I met. Sorry.
That's awesome.
What's it called?
Stellenbosch.
Nice.
I'm sure he'll hear about it. It's probably plastered everywhere. It's really pretty though.
Were you
There's
18 when you were there?
Yeah, I was.
I'm talking to 2 sober guys, but he thought that was just the best thing ever. He pulled into Johannesburg, which he now calls the Berg or something. Fuck. First thing he did was get chicken wings and he thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Nice.
That's awesome. It's a good time in life right there. You, I don't know if you know this though, but your rig doesn't drive to South Africa. So how are you going to get there?
There's not a bridge?
No bridge. No bridge.
I didn't study much in geography, man. I thought there was a bridge.
When does he leave? When do you come? When do you go down there?
He comes back in like 8 to 10 days.
Oh,
Okay.
He'll be back in April.
I thought you were.
Yep.
I thought you had told me that you were going to go down there.
No, I have a bead on on a safari for 2, but I kind of blew my wad on the I'm out of money. Like I said, man, I don't know if I can even afford fishing licenses now.
Well, that's going to be an awesome trip.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you, man.
Thanks, brother.
New chapters.
We'll rendezvous, man. We'll do some fishing stuff.
I know. I'd love to, when you head down south, go down and my brother's out there and he's got a place for us possibly down in the Keys that we might be able to hook up, but I want to go down and do some red fishing bad. So yeah, hopefully maybe we can get down there. Maybe it'd be great if we can meet you guys down there. So, yeah, for sure. We'll have to hook up a rendezvous.
Let's do it.
A sub
Rob,
GFW.
Rob, how long have you been fishing?
Oh man, actually hunting and fishing has always been a way for me to connect with my family. Like I hunt because my dad hunts, right? And I didn't grow up with my dad. And so when he said, "You want to go bow hunting?" I said, "What's up?" "Oh, sure." And it's the same thing, my other dad, my stepdad, when I was a young kid, I have memories of not super fond memories because we would be like on the bank And if you haven't figured it out yet, knowing me, my attention span's that of a gnat, right? So, the bait fish, and I was like, Dad, where's the fish? No fish. And he'd be like, see that mountain? Bet you can't run up it in 2 minutes. The same thing Reid does to his kids in class as a masterful art of distraction. I'd be back. That's when I probably became a good runner. Up the hill, down the hill. I'm like, now what, Dad? Did we catch a fish? So he was smart, right? He puts me in this rowboat. He got us a rowboat. He would troll, and he's like, here's how you rowed. I was just like... And he was just fishing, and he said, it'll be your turn in a little bit. So, I did catch a really big, he called him a German brown, right? So I remember catching a 3.5 pound German brown. So that's what I called it when I was a kid.
Nice.
You guys give me crap. I came in and said, I caught me a German on the White River. But
Rob, we wouldn't do that. We're not like that.
I was pretty little. I was probably 10. But I didn't start fly fishing until I was a wildlife biologist, and in college I went up to Bonners Ferry, Idaho, way up in the panhandle there, and we would do radio telemetry projects with caribou. Well, we had to hike, you'd bushwhack 7 miles in, and we ended up at this lake. I don't remember. I think it was Ball Lake. Well, I'm walking around. There was a trail, so somebody must have known about this. There's a trail, and when you trip and you look back at that rock and you're kind of cussing it, I look back and I'm like, what is that? And underneath the moss is a fly box. It's probably been there for years. And it was just fortuitous, man. And I opened it up, and it had a couple lures and some flies. And so I asked for fly fishing gear. So I was in college, and then that's when I started fly fishing. And I thought they were all going to look like a housefly because I was stupid. It's like, fly fishing. I was well, that must be what they're doing.
What a cool way to get into it. Find this old fly box. Wow, that's awesome. Up on some friggin' lake 80 miles from anywhere. That's so you, dude. That's great.
Somebody's going to hear this and say, hey, I lost that fly box.
That's right.
I've been looking all over for
You
that.
lost a fly box. Perhaps Rob
It was my favorite Rapala. And all. Yeah, so that was that's kind of my fishing, and I pretty much taught myself how to fly fish, and then we started doing programs for kids, my wife and I, and then old Reid, man, he and I, met up at Flag Canyon, and we just knew of each other, He knew I was crack up in the middle school building, and he was a crack up, coaching baseball at the high school, then being an English teacher, and then I really think he's the one that talked your mom into hiring this goofball.
Yeah. Right, yeah, when I was down there, and then we ended up a couple of years later hooking up again, working in the same building for a while. And then, yeah, how'd you get onto GFW? How long have you been on GFW?
I was a math teacher, but oh heck, I don't know, man. It had to be probably 2005.
Is that when it was? 5, 6, yeah, dude, I don't know.
You had to test me a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You had to see if I had the metal. Let me tell you, man, you guys opened my eyeballs to it.
I was like, hey, I got this guy. I think he's gonna be great. I think he'll be he'll have fun. He's a great guy to have on a trip. And I was like, so I invited Rob. I got the board approval to bring and add a newbie, which is part of the process of GFW. We talked a little bit about that or written about it, whatever. And yeah, you came on and yeah, you got along with everybody right away. It didn't take long for you to fit in well. and that
Give that guy a gin and tonic. It'll be fine.
was your first one? Was that when we were in Silverthorne? Or was that maybe your second? I can't remember where we went. I don't know. We've been so many different places. Here's what I remember about your first one. I'm like, Rob, bring some money. It's a $5 buy-in for poker. I'm like, you need to bring money. And so, and then, we play, and you'll probably end up buying back in through the weekend, because I don't know how much cards you play, whatever. But, each night we basically, and you keep your chips up, whatever. I was explaining to him, like, so bring money. You need some cash to play because then we cash out, blah, blah. So first night, Rob's, I don't know, a half a bottle of gin in. And, after a long day on the river, it's like 10:30, Joe's cooking steaks. We're like, we better get the card game going. And Rob shows up to the table with like a tin can full of coins, like change. When we're just like, what the fuck is that? Like a coffee can full of change. And he's like, you told me to bring money. Like you said, it was like nickel, dime, quarter poker. So I brought all my nickels, quarters, and dimes. I'm like, oh my God, dude. We don't actually play with quarters and nickels. We play with poker chips. Oh God.
Yeah, Eddie, I think they looked at me like the guy on the river runs through it, the guy who shows up with the Folgers can of worms.
Yeah.
And falls asleep with that lady on the bank, gets sunburned.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. He was like,
I'm ready. And I'm like, oh my
oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of you to fit in.
So GFW was a bit of a rude awakening for you.
Well, let me tell you. Yeah, some of the some of the comments, in one of your podcasts, you guys talk about vulnerability. Oh my!
Yep.
I was feeling really vulnerable when they started talking. It's like, oh my Lord, I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, that's nuts.
How has it progressed for you guys fishing weekend? How has it changed for you over the course of time? What has it given you? Because you've been going now for a long time. If that was 2000, you've been going almost 20 years now.
Yeah. So honestly, Reid, for me, you inviting me, I knew it was a big deal to you. You'd been talking about it. So, it was just an honor to be invited because it's something special, right? Like you said, not everybody fits in, and not everybody is willing to do the things that we do to have the kind of camaraderie that we have. There's a lot of people that are it's not about introvert or extrovert. It's about trust, and in any part of my life, one of the most important things for me has been to be trusted, whether it's as a parent, as a teacher, as a friend, whatever I'm doing in life. Trust is huge, and we've shared some things that are pretty tough to share. I say stuff that you share with a therapist. But when you build that kind of trust over years and years and years, so I don't know if it's changed, but it started kind of like, I just want to fit in. This is kind of cool that I got invited. And what am I talking about? Because I'm kind of an extrovert, especially with the G&Ts. But yeah, for me, it's that level of trust. I don't know if you guys follow Simon Sinek at all. I'm kind of a modern philosopher, but
Absolutely.
Sinek talks a lot about military folks, and why did you keep getting off that like helicopter and you keep falling back to help your buddies? You're a hero, and what you find out is that it's not that I'm a hero. It's I know they would do it for me. Every one of them would do it for me. And so, of course, I'm going to go back. And fella's like, yeah, man, made me all misty right now. I'm looking at your eyes, and I trust you guys with my own family, And that's a big deal.
Right. Yeah. I think that's the big thing, right? That's the piece of it that we may not see each other every weekend throughout the year. I'm hoping that certainly we'll see each other more now that the time that all that work time is gone, right? And so hopefully we can make it a priority to see each other more as we get into that next part of our life but it hasn't been that way, right? We don't spend every weekend with each other or near enough weekends with each other. But that weekend is the one where it's like we hook up again because of that trust and that bond over the course of time. And it's like, it was like we were just here yesterday. It was like last year's trip. Yeah, we're just continuing it. It's like there's a gap of time in there, but it feels like we just pick right up and are able to do that. And I think that strength in that bond, I agree with you, is something special. And that's what, I think that's the gift of being committed to doing this thing is really, that's awesome. That's the piece of it that, that feeds the soul for me, certainly, is that piece.
Well, and to kind of piggyback on that, it's a lot like the work I do with outdoor education and kids spending the night with each other and spending full days with each other. There's a difference on going on, say we went on the river. If you join up with guys and you fish for a day and you all go home versus you all fishing for a day, then you cook together, you eat together, you play poker together. And there's been times when we've grown as individuals throughout that short period of time in ways that couldn't happen without that kind of a trip. And there's been times when we fought or we've had internal frustrations from our own life. And in this group of guys where you can struggle and tuggle and then, it's a hug it out and say, shit, man, thanks for sharing me. You got pissed off and and we all came around, and you find out like, oh, it's pissed off because it's all this stuff I'm carrying, all this baggage that, like the skin on a snake, you gotta get out of that old skin and then all that trust and vulnerability and being able to be real with each other. I love that.
Right.
And I don't know if a lot of people, I don't know how many people, I would be curious if they had some kind of a survey. How many people have that kind of a group to connect with? And I think that's what I love. You guys are starting, man. This guy's fishing weekend. It could be girls fishing weekend. It could be golf weekend. It doesn't matter, man. It's people coming together and having an opportunity to grow. And you got to put yourself in those settings.
Right.
Right?
I really love what you said about the setting of it. And I'm not sure I thought about it. I think maybe I took it for granted. I certainly think about it, but you just vocalize it in a way where, your work and the kids being there and you are going away for a weekend and there is no escaping those hard moments or those tough things. So, you wake up and maybe you have time to think about it and you talk it out the next morning and you have, we've definitely had conversations on guys fishing weekend where, I think this and you think that, and we've argued and we've had some hot moments like that, but we weren't, you didn't drive home and stew on it. You know what I mean? We were forced to be there. And that, when you just said that, that was like, that's like the thread that keeps it kind of real and authentic in terms of that, but allows you to work through those things, as well as when you're laughing and joking and you wake up the next morning and you're remembering, and we're laughing again about what happened last night. And, so it's like those things, it's like a pot and it stews for the whole weekend. And it's like this whole thread and you're living in quarters together and you're welcoming of all those things. And that's really kind of the magic. I think that's piece of the magic of it is being committed to doing that, and being able to create something. It's certainly, it's happened that way over time, and it's it's impressive to be able to be a part of something like that.
So you're retiring. Let's take a step back to why you have that giant bird sitting next to you. What
Oh, you're talking about Harry, are you?
we are, is that Harry?
That's Harry.
He looks kind of feathery.
Is that a ringneck pheasant?
That is a ringneck pheasant. That's excellent.
I knew it.
Excellent. I don't know how you knew that.
It's just my natural brilliance. You know how I knew that? Rob, do you know how I knew that? Because I listen to you when we are hiking into fish. And we hike along and we come across things and you teach me, you pass your knowledge on. Whenever we see a bird, you're like, "Ooh, dude, check out that ring-neck purple-headed pheasant bird thing." Only you say the actual name, and I just am like, "Yeah, okay, cool. That's a good-looking bird."
Yeah, I'll remember that. Yeah, so Kiv is sitting. That's right. That's why I have him there. He's super soft. And he goes, "Does he have a name?" And I said, "I'm just thinking he's got to have a name." I'm like, "Yeah, his name's Harry." He goes, "I think he's feathery." It's exactly what I said.
Yeah, that's great.
And I was like, "Yeah, but you can't call him feathery." Hey, lay down the kid table and he chilled out. Yeah, I've got all kinds of stuff mounted around here. Yeah, that's Harry. Yeah, he's always somewhere too much in the picture,
He's awesome. But I think one of the reasons we keep you around on GFW is like what Reid just said, is your biology lessons that you give us.
It's passion. It's just like fishing, man. The outdoors has always been so healing for me, The times were rough and I had a lot of divorce and stuff, but again, my stepdad used to just take me everywhere. It didn't matter what you're doing with someone. It just matters that you're with them. And I remember my first wild strawberry, about the size of your little nail. And he goes, "You know what that is?" And I go, "No." And he goes, "Strawberry, And I remember the flavor of a little teeny strawberry. It tasted like it was a big old California strawberry all shrunk down with a shrink machine. And I just remember all those little moments. And nature is, she's beautiful, man. And she's a healer. So us being out there, I'm passionate about that stuff.
I think some of our favorite memories are always with you. I can think of, it was probably 2 years ago now, us walking in on our long hike in, teaching us about all the different pine trees that were in there. And both Reid and I are like, don't care. But you were so excited about each and every one of them that it was like, okay, maybe I do care. I really should think about spindly pines and ponderosa pines, and this is important stuff.
It was amazing. Your passion about that is infectious with us. When you are, I think it was like a long needled pine or something. There was some kind of needled pine that was like so rare. You're like, "Dude, do you know what this is?" And it was so good. Learning about, I've learned about the different species of animal shit, pine trees, you've passed on this knowledge through your passion of biology. It's hilarious, dude. It's great.
There's been times where you're like, "Man, where is Robb? Has anybody seen him?" And you go and you're like, "I'm gonna go back and find him." And you walk back and you're down on like all fours, like looking at some flower that looks like just spread across the hill, but you're like fascinated by this one flower, and it's awesome. It's such
great.
a cool.
Well, thank you, guys. With me, boys. Yeah,
Oh, I know Tom loves it. When you two start,
It was a liver pine. The biologist in me is like, that's like a hairball in my throat, man. I appreciate you guys putting up with my passion. I do love it, and you guys are kind. You're like, well, at least it's helping us get through this half-mile hike because I'm sure sick of it.
I don't think I've ever been sick of it.
never. Oh, did you hear that? Was that Harry?
Oh,
That was you wish it was Harry, but there's a clock above him. You see that? There's a
sure
clock
do.
above him. That is my nerd clock. Yeah, that was a house wren.
That was a house wren.
Oh.
Okay. I was just going to say, what kind of bird chirp was that? House wren.
Almost like we planned it, you know.
Listener, you are getting the authentic Rob right now. I hope you appreciate this.
2 points if you can name the bird.
That's good stuff. Rob, your dad passed on the passion of fishing to you. You have 2 boys clearly that fish. How has that helped you with your fatherhood and your bonding with your kids? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so good or bad, I've raised my kids to be their own self. And with that has come, I love my dad, but I don't want to be like my dad because there's all these expectations. And so interestingly enough, that's one of the places. Sports, I thought they were both good runners. Neither one of them wanted to run. They played rugby, you know. They're like, okay, you know, like wildlife biology, I thought might be in the cards, and my mom and dad are wildlife biology. I don't want to do that. So fishing is the one thing. And the beautiful thing about fly fishing is someone has to teach you.
Yeah. Right?
You suck eggs for a long time. I mean, you know the.
Yes. Yeah.
You watch your reader run through the thing, and it's a shit show, right? So the beautiful part about fly fishing is you start with success with a rod and reel, and then you move to fly fishing, and it's tough. And so, well, just watch me and you can do it. And you give them your shitty rod because they're going to tie that leader into 37 knots. and you just, like this, son, and I felt like a badass.
Right.
Because I fished with a 6-year-old. When I'm fishing you guys, I feel like a 6-year-old. But fishing, I let him explore it. And he's like, then it became the dad. It's them wanting the knowledge. That's different than always feeding it. There's something powerful about I'm yearning for more knowledge. And so that's what it did. And Sawyer, particularly my youngest, it didn't take him long. Once he needed those pieces. And the beautiful part about it is now it's that flipped mentorship. He is clearly a better fly fisherman than I am. And that's bullshit.
we'll scrub that out. We'll scrub that out.
Yeah, we won't post that. We won't do that one.
But I mean, that's so cool. Like, yeah, I watch him from I back off and I'm like, he is in a river runs through it. There's some, the preacher says something like that. Like, I have witnessed the most beautiful thing. I've witnessed pure beauty.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about Sawyer. Like, I love both my kids, but he's one that glommed on to fly fishing because we lived in the woods, we lived by a pond. That's what he did every day. And when your kid wakes up, even during COVID, when they didn't have to sit in front of a screen when they could do all their homework.
Yeah.
That kid was at the pond, at 6 a.m. And that's when you just go, man, my life is a success, right? He'd be on a paddleboard with our old dog.
Yeah.
Landing a fish, paddling. taking a picture. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I can't do those things at once. You're doing like 6. So it's been beautiful, man. And my other boy, he fishes kind of like I hunted and started hunting fishing. He does it to be with his dad. He does it to be with his bro. You know, it's
Right.
cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've tried to influence, but none of them have taken to it yet. I have 2 daughters and a son, and they just haven't gotten there yet. But I'm hoping that eventually they will. You know, at least
Maybe it's because you always speed to the water and steal people's holes.
Yeah. Well, they got to learn on their own, and they got to learn frustration too. Yeah, they got to learn how to deal with assholes in their life. I'm just pressing them for life.
You just listen to Rob say, "I'm going to teach them. I'm going to give them the knowledge. I'm going to," and then we know how it really works.
Well, I'll give them knowledge. Yeah, I'll give them knowledge about how to take a beating. A mental beating when I'm like popping off. How many fish you catch? None? I don't do that. Yeah, no, I don't. Because we hike, we do a lot of outdoor stuff. They just haven't, I don't know, gotten into the fishing yet. They haven't been able to, I think, withstand the attention that it takes. So, but yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Watching your son is amazing. We were able to experience that on your pond when he was on the paddle board and catching fish and with the dog on the front. And I was like, oh Lord, you weren't kidding. He really does do that. All of us would have been head first in the lake.
So how did that organically happen, would you say? Just by dragging them by the ear to go do it? Or I guess how did you impart that wisdom on them?
Well, first of all, I married Reid.
Yeah.
And they had a
That's a
gap.
big step. Yeah.
I married it up for sure in so many ways. But they had a cabin and they had a kiddie pond, right? So it's high success. You know, you're fishing with eggs, and sometimes the fly fishing is a bit. It draws a pompous crowd. I'm probably not saying that in the best way, but
Sometimes it does. I agree.
There's a lot of ego and there's a lot of wealth and money. They kind of surrounded fly fishing, and so I've always been cautious to be judgmental. And so they started with eggs and stuff, and then I would go down and I would come back, and their grandma would ask me, how many fish did you catch, and where's the stringer? And I'm like, I caught 35. Got the stringer again. I'm so sorry. And being competitors, Reid, and you get it, sometimes you got to tap into that stuff that's interesting to them. And they've been around the woods a lot, but they're very competitive. And he's like, he caught 34. Where are you fishing, Dad? It's a river. That's a little bit tougher. And then we went down,
Right.
And again, I let him get, I let him do that stuff, right? Like, Dad. And I'm like, okay, you gotta lift up a little bit, buddy, and then it down, not back. Give it a shot again, and then I'd run way down the river, and he'd have to chase with that, So that was the organic way. He was curious.
Yeah.
And Merritt was at that time too. But Merritt's.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not sure. I don't like
We
that.
should have mentioned at the beginning of this podcast that this is one that you should probably watch because of how animated Rob is.
Yeah, starting now a little bit.
Great.
Yeah, sounds like you just came home from school one day and they said, Dad, you speak in onomatopoeia. I said, watch your mouth.
So what'd you call me?
I said, what's that? And they go, all that stuff you do. Yeah, my hands are flying. Everything. Now I've got a self-conscious that's be like, secure the hands. Don't make noises. Yeah. But, yeah.
We talk about how we all need to be ourselves a little bit more around here.
Hallelujah.
So, lean into it.
Indeed.
Thanks, brother.
Indeed. Rob, tell me, what's one thing that's working really well in your life right now?
Wow. That's difficult, and thank you for being positive, because I really what's coming to mind is what's not working.
No, I want something that's working really well for you right now. It could be even a small thing. Give me something that's working really well.
You know, I guess as an educator, we don't make a lot of money, but I am starting to realize the impact. I guess it's very, very validating to me when people say, whether it's a bus driver or a kid or a parent or whatever, that it says, I always feel welcome when I come there. And you've built a culture, and they give me credit. And it took me a long time to realize that in leadership, you truly do need a vision from a leader. Really, I think all leaders do. Good leaders provide vision and they model it. And so when people feel welcome here, and when people, it's validating to know all the hard work that you put in education. You don't always know if it's sticking to the wall, you know?
Right.
And I guess for me, that's something that's going very well. I feel like I've had a good career, and I'm not going to try to go. I feel like I've won the Super Bowl, and I decided I'm not going to try for a 2P, 3P, 4P, you know, keep going it on, make a little more money. I'm not doing that. However, it has been very difficult on that same accord
Right.
to move into a life, because when a lot of my life has been my work, and I think this is true for some people, that is your validation, and that's kind of your what is it? It's your identity almost.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
And then the you come over here and it's like, now what?
Yep.
Oh, now I'm just Rob dude driving a big old Ram pickup and pulling this monstrosity that looks like a Pandora lot. And I'm just a dude.
Right.
In the middle of nowhere. And I don't think it's going to happen, but I've seen it happen to others where you lose your identity. The work was so much a part of who you are that you've lost that. So that will be a new challenge for me, and that's fun because I love to scare the shit out of myself.
It's important. It's important to do that, right?
It is. It's where you grow. I was pulling that damn trailer. I never even hooked one up. I didn't even know. It's a 1,000-pound trailer, and I'm like, well, the good news is there's snow going over Valvez.
Sweet. We'll see what this thing's really made of.
I'll see you later. You know, I think I just showed my pants, but it was funny. Yeah, it was good. I was nervous. I don't know how this works.
Right. I can tell you that, you know, having worked under your leadership, that is something that you do very well. I've longed for leadership that has made me feel welcome for a long time. And I think that, you know, you have an incredible way with not just with kids, but with the people that work for you, all the way down from, you know, not just the teachers who are teaching under, you know, up at Outdoor Lab, but the bus drivers and the people in the kitchen and the people who clean the, you know what I mean? Like it's a whole thing, and you've always been able to encompass that and make everyone feel a part and feel welcome. And I think that's, you know, that carries into other aspects of your life, because I see that on Guys Fishing Weekend as well. And I think that that's, you know, your welcomeness with open arms. And, you know, you mentioned earlier about hugging it out, and, you know, a hug from Rob is, you know, that's one to behold. That's one that stays with you. And that's really cool that I think that you have that ability to do that. And I think that, you know, yeah, teacher, yeah, principal, yeah, whatever, but you're a dude that does that with people naturally. And that's as much a part of your identity moving on and into the next phase as anything else. You know, I can see you being pulling into a campground. And you're going to get to know your neighbors, and some of them are going to fucking hate you, but some of them are you're going to meet some great people, dude, because you're that guy. You make people feel comfortable and welcome, and it doesn't take you long. So,
Oh shit, Reid.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I mean,
I think that's cool.
yeah. Ever seen a grown man cry? No, I mean, face. That's the thing, is like, coming from someone like you, you're a high caliber human being. I mean, someone I respect immensely. It means a ton to me. And I guess it's hard for me to take those kind of compliments, but I need to get better at that.
Right.
And think you didn't. Here's the
We
other
all
thing,
do.
man, guys, weekend, and I would encourage anyone. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong freaking room.
Right.
And I feel like when I come to guys fishing weekend, I'm just hoping to be in like the 40th percentile, I don't like my standardized tests as a kid. If I can just get into the 40th percentile, I'm in. And that's what it just, I have grown so much as a person being around all of you. And when we invite new people and you just, I remember when you came in, Eddie, and I was like, wow. I think that kid had saggy pants and was showing half his underwear the first time I met him. That's the same guy. And then comes this just incredibly intelligent, articulate young man who had some cool life experiences. And you sagged your pants, you did all that stuff, just being who you were at that time. You were where you were right there, and you were proud of that. And you worked through insecurities because you were always a learner. I mean, you added so much to Guys Fishing Weekend, and it's this young kid, and Reid, did he not just come and fit right in?
He was the first legacy. Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Yep.
and then your papa being like, my godfather, thing with Reid. I mean, just cool.
Yeah,
and
it's fun. I mean, it is. It's amazing, and I agree with you. I think it's so important to surround yourself with people who challenge you and push you, and the way you think, and those are the people that help you continue to grow, right? As soon as we say, I'm done growing, I don't need any of that, that's when it's going to start going south for you. So
oh yeah, I know all that, right? Yeah.
Yep. And so 100%, it's fun what we've created and we're able to keep going with. So that part of it is it. The fishing's cool, yes, but that part of it's it. Oh god.
Well, those aren't my blinds. I'm trying to get that glare out. I had to switch animals here. Let's go this way.
Oh god.
Boy. Oh god. Oh.
Oh god, now we got a lynx. It's a fox. It's a white snow link fox.
God. No,
that's
offense.
feathery.
Did you get your cat stuffed?
He lost an ear in the Second World War. I was just, we were getting too much glare over there. Sorry, boys.
I'm turning the head. It's all right.
Well, Rob, we've talked about our new identities since we're all going to be retired soon. But we're especially excited to see the identity that you refine and uncover.
Indeed.
Oh, thanks, fellas. Yeah, I sure am. I just got to say, man, super inspired by what you two are doing. I think you're sharing with people in the world the beauty of this, and like I said earlier, man, I don't think many people have this special thing that we have, and for you to have the courage to get out here and do it, man, and share it and believe in it and say, man, I want everyone to have what I have. Give away what you love, here it is. You guys are doing it, man. I'm so freaking proud. And it's like, man, these are my buddies. This is the real deal, man. Guys fishing weekend, the real deal.
Right? That's it, dude. That's it.
Yeah.
We don't need any nip shots, okay?
Hey, man, that's my move, and I'm proud of it, my man.
Your move.
Nice.
Well, maybe you
so
can
cool.
maybe you can leave us with your fondest guys fishing weekend memory.
Or one of them.
Man, that's it. Puffy, they're flooding through my mind. I'm sorry, Joe.
Are you going through them and saying?
Yeah.
Are you going through them and saying like I can't say that one, I can't say this one?
Yeah.
No, can't say that one.
He's gonna preface all this with, I'm sorry, Joe.
So you've already talked about, or I read it in one of your writings about your buddies coming for the first time. That was a classic. Everybody getting up to shake their hand, butt ass naked. That's a good one. That was classic. But I gotta say, like, I love that Joe is awesome. And Joe's kind of our chef extraordinaire. Always wants a boat day. Because, Joe's not, I'd be on the river all day, man. He's a foodie. He loves reading. He's super intelligent. And it's just too much to be on the river. But Joe always gives it. And Joe always falls. It's like that thing you're not supposed to do is laugh your ass off at your buddy who's about to drown. That's a step. It's everything you do. Are you okay, man? And it's one more and then diving in, and it was one time it was just me and your dad because you fuckers were just hitting all the holes before us. And so I was like, I feel bad for John. I'm gonna hang out back there chilling. And you're like, oh man, I don't know if I'd be, and it goes on. And you're like, oh shit, he's gonna break the rod. Here it comes. And it's like, whoop, whoop, and it goes under, and but your dad is such a sport, and it's like, I got this, and he gets up, and his waders are full, and he can't move, and he's draining them out, and then I laughed at his ass, and karma's a funny thing, because on one of the smallest streams we ever fish, you guys will remember the stream, but I have to cross this little dinky thing. It couldn't have been 4 feet across. And I've gone through some shit that day. And sure as shit, I step on a rock, and there came karma, man. And I filled my fucking waders. The kind where you fall and your feet went downstream, and you're like, I'm fucked. It's just, you feel it going down the back of your legs, and your underwear is so good. Shit. So I strip everything off because I'm like, fuck. And so when I turn everything inside out, Tommy's coming down the river, right? Tommy turns the corner, and I think I'm pretty much buck-ass naked just standing there. I'm out of condition. I don't know. And Tommy's like, what?
What is going on?
He knew what happened. Yeah.
Oh.
He's like, yeah.
I came up on you after Tom had, because you were still like I think you had put your skivvies back on at that point. Yeah, that was up in Gunnison when we went way back in and drove up in. I don't even remember what creek it was, but it was up above Gunnison because we were staying there. So that's a good.
There's a little part of me that just wanted Joey to be there to laugh his ass off.
Yep.
How's it feel, fricker?
Oh, that was one of Joe's favorite days, was when I took a digger and went in. Oh, he loved that day. He still talks about it. Yep.
And now, Reid, we're getting old enough.
I
man.
know.
Get into your 50s, and I got that long ass, the really long net.
Yeah.
So you put the little, so I could use it as a cane. And then
Right.
Eddie made us some beautiful nets. And I'm like, I can't put that on rocks. There's no way I'm turning that sucker upside down. I use it as a cane because I'm old. Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt. Well, that's good, man. It's been a treat having you with us, and I hope you'll be back and come back with us again. We have to get more of you guys involved in this to be with us and do some stuff. So, but a lot of fun doing this.
Dudes, you're rocking it, man. I love you too. Love you, man.
We love you, man.
I love you too, brother. All right.
Alrighty.
Talk soon.
Talk soon. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you. Love you.
Later.
That's all for today's episode. Thanks for listening. Make sure to visit our website, guysfishingweekend.com, to check out the GFW merch, sign up for our newsletter, and learn how to get involved with the community. We appreciate you spending even a little bit of your week with us and are glad to have you along on the journey. Stay legendary and happy fishing.